Morning at NTV.
It's our Tech Note, and as we journey on into Wednesday's edition of Morning at NTV Still, thank you so much for being with us and streaming live on YouTube as well as Facebook. Thank you so much for taking the data to be with us on this show. So we are going to take note of the revised approach to advanced personal planning. Personal planning stretches far from the things that you have to do on a day, and some of us fall into the trap of, because of the jobs that we have that have your job description, you literally know what to do and how to do it and when to do it, that even when you have just seconds to do it, you can still do the A to Z of it in just seconds. But when it comes to your personal life, do you actually have the very same job description encrypted into your life? So times have changed, and while our parents and grandparents typically picked up one job, stuck with it until retirement, following a very straightforward career path, the modern knowledge worker is presented with a variety of new industries, new jobs, new ways of improving ourselves. We've all been having that era of self-help books, self-help programs. Now, the abundance of opportunities is amazing, but can also be overwhelming for an individual. So a professional development plan is an ever-changing document that assesses your current skill set. It helps you set career goals, create strategies, and uncover resources that will help you reach the very milestone that you've been dreaming of, making it a reality. Well, we do have a personal planning getaway that is awaiting for each one of us, if only we take in the wise words of Manuela Mulondo, an entrepreneur joining me for this discussion. Good morning to you, Manuela.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure to have you.
It's a pleasure to be back.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but I'm so glad to be back.
Okay,
yeah.
So now let's talk about personal development planning. First of all, what is it?
I like the intro that you gave, which was that many times in our jobs, we have the plan. Yeah. You know, there's a plan and we carry it out. And for 24 hours of our lives, 8 hours are so structured, well structured. You're going to office, 8 o'clock, come in, morning at NTV, do your thing. And then there's some other 8 hours after work, and they're extremely unstructured. They have no order, no plan. The plan is based on somebody else's plan. Someone calls and says, let's go, let's do this. And then you get up and go because you don't have an initial plan. You don't have what you are doing. Imagine you're at work and you're getting some work done and you get an email that says, we need you right now. Many times you're going to assess, but we don't do that for our personal lives, And the truth is, the way a personal development plan works is it's for both your professional and your personal lives.
Because it's all
encompassing, exactly. It's all of our lives. And so you find that for many of us, our organizations have planned our lives at work. True. And we are hoping by some miracle that someone has organized our lives for us outside of the workplace. So essentially a personal development plan is, one, it's intentional, two, it's structured, and so you plan all the areas of your life. And you know what's interesting? Our work life is just only one area of the 8 areas we have in our lives.
Which makes 9 areas. So what are the other 8 areas?
Actually, it's 8 areas. One of them is our work life, so our occupational life. Okay. But other areas include things like our emotions, our emotional well-being. What are we like? What brings us joy? What brings us happiness? What are our feelings? What are emotions? Right? What are you feeling? Your well-being is a part of your life. Your environment, your environmental well-being. What does your phone look like? All those apps on your phone. You know, you look.
By the way, on apps, because I just got a new phone, and of course it has those apps, built-in apps for the phone. And I the other day I was looking at them. I was like, now all these, how are they exactly supposed to be helping me? So now it was forcing me to actually go and read more about them so that I know how to utilize them, because they are put there for a purpose.
For a purpose, exactly. And then some of us, you just download an app because someone said it's helpful, Zenda or whatever, but you don't need it. And after a few months, you find that your phone tells you, oh, these apps, you're not using them frequently, meaning clean them out. So what does your environment, your laptop, many of us, if they open if a child touches our laptop, we're almost crying because we know they might close a browser that we had opened, that we were just reading, but we hadn't fixed. Thank you very much. And those things bring us overwhelmed. Yeah. What does things like our body, our physical well-being, how well do we sleep? What is our health like? What is our body like? What is happening inside of your body? Just the other day I was in India to do my full body health check. What is inside my body? And from my last check, which was 5 years ago, I had a few indicators that had increased. And the doctor is saying, oh, Manuela, something here is going on. And this had nothing to do with all the kilograms that I have checked on my weighing scale. No, things like my levels of phosphorus, things like my levels of potassium, sodium. Like, how many of us know?
I actually had that test also myself a few years ago. There's a doctor in Bara who does it. And I was shocked to say, but doctor, how important are these things to me? And the treatment was to actually have my body, you know, have the equated levels that I'm supposed to have at my age with my weight and blah, blah, blah. Blah. But now, as we go on with this conversation, Manuela, everything is birthed from a problem.
Oh, yes.
You know? So what was the problem, that birthed this whole personal planning journey for you?
Like I shared earlier, some of these things, life, I feel like adulting has been romanticized. And I was one of those people who really wanted to grow up one day. And I didn't know that when you grow up, you have to pay bills. You have children to take care of. You have a husband to take care of. You're in a business. You're in employment. You have a business that's running. Businesses have their ups and their downs. You're looking for money. All of those things we don't know, but in many ways, those things cause us overwhelm and stress and anxiety. And for me, unfortunately, it went up to depression. And I'm not those people who likes to talk about the problem. I like to speak solutions. So I'm not going to come here and say, guys, there's an issue with mental health. I'm like, okay, how did I get into that issue? What caused my mental ill health? Yeah, because clearly my mental health, emotional well-being, was not fine. And I needed to find out why. And I realized that because I was disorganized. My life was disorganized. Everything about my life just did not make it. Was so but I was living
disorganization life. Are you referring, because you don't look like a disorganized chick?
Oh, not now.
Not even from the past, really. So when you say disorganization, are you saying that you were just going by the wind of the clock of the day, the clock of work, the clock of motherhood, the clock of marriage? Yeah.
You wake up and they're asking you, what are we going to eat? And you're just like, you know, I just fix something, eggs, and please, just for now, you know. And then you have a husband who's coming home and he's like, oh, what's for dinner? And you're there presenting eggs. And you guys know exactly what I mean, because the house girl left, the housemaid left, or you're in office and you're in the middle of a presentation only to receive a message from your school that your child beat up another child and they need you to come to school, but you can't get up to go.
So ever since you picked up personal planning for yourself, what are the realizations that you have seen that you would like to share with the world?
One of the things that I have seen is that I have more peace of mind. I'm happier. It's easier for me to say no. Because, and you know, we've had many motivational speakers tell us that things like, learn to say no. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to say no. But then the time comes and you can't say no because you've not planned your life enough to know what is most important, what is a priority for you and for your life. And so now for me, it's become so much easier to say no. I've been able to do things that I never thought I would do in this lifetime.
We all have those dream destinations. I ask you, what is your dream destination? Oh, Dubai, Paris, whatever. So I want to believe that at one point, as a little girl, possibly, Paris was your dream destination. But never had you actually planned to go to Paris. Like, in your day-to-day structure, disorganization at that time, there was no way Paris was going to come your way. So in light of this conversation, how did you bring your dream of going to Paris into reality?
So actually, it wasn't just Paris. It was 5 countries in Europe and 9 cities. I dreamt of going to Italy, I dreamt of going to France, I dreamt of going to Switzerland, I dreamt of going to Belgium, and I went to all of those countries for vacation. And I always thought that I needed to have so much money to get that done. And yet motivational speakers had been telling us, save, 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 save. But I was like, I'm saving what exactly? Because I'm not even earning that much. But with going into planning, one of the areas that we talk about in planning is your financial planning. How much income do you have coming in? So when you look at the income, then how much can you save? And when you save, what categories of saving are there? And one of the categories we have are things like future expenditure. Apart from investment, apart from emergencies.
Yeah, everyone preaches on investment.
Hey, they do. But there is future.
But there's no enjoyment
there's no
of
enjoyment.
investment.
Yes. There are those things that you dream of. You dream of driving this beautiful car. You dream of building this home. So when you save, there are categories of saving. And when you draw out your financial plan, that should be there. So one of the things that we had was, you know, we wanted to travel on vacation as a family, and we started planning in 2018 because I got into a depression 2017, 2018. We started planning 2018, and we only were able to start traveling last year for family vacation. Even then, we've not yet started traveling with the children. It's just me and my husband for now, as we continue to work towards our financial plan to now get our children to travel with us when we go on family vacation. And when you save little by little over a long period of time, you find that, yeah, you're going to destinations like Paris.
Okay, so Manuela, this is in light of a world that has so many distractions and so many constant demands. So on all elements of a person, you talked about an employee, as a mother, as a wife, as a, you know, as sisters. So what are some of those common challenges that people face when it comes to planning for their lives on a personal level? Because we can plan for your wedding, we can plan for your baby shower, but to get that planning to then be done on myself, it's very challenging.
And it shouldn't be. It's really now a mindset. Because like you've just so rightfully said it, if you can plan a wedding, you can plan which career you want to take, you can plan which books you want to, which course you want to take. You can plan all of those things, but when it comes to your life, there's a fear, and many times I've realized that the biggest fear for most Ugandans is the fear of God. They're like, Mukama yamanyi. God is the one who knows. I can plan the wedding because it's for just here 3 months.
But even God is ever re-strategizing with the Israelites and getting them out of, you know, from one destination to another. They fail. He has to realign things. He's a planning God.
God is a planner. And if he says, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, and that means he's a planner. And we were made in that same DNA. That means when we don't plan, something is off for us. And so I find that for most Ugandans, our biggest challenge is how big our life is. We don't want to see that far. We're also very superstitious. What if I don't reach? We're very, very pessimistic. We're not very optimistic to see that, yes, indeed, there will be a future. I mean, they talk to us about insurance, and we're like, I can't.
On that note, I know that you have interfaced with people who have given you the reasoning of, what if there's an emergency? What if my child falls sick? Can I not touch that saving? Can I not touch? Shouldn't I sacrifice that commitment for the sake of this? What is your advice to
It's a great question. The truth is, planning includes planning for emergencies.
Hey, okay. All right. Now, speaking of planning, Manuela here is having the annual personal planning getaway.
Yes.
And it's been buzzing on social media. The due date is around the corner.
Yes, it is.
Mademoiselle, tell us more about this getaway, attendees expected, your target audience, and how much it's going to cost to plan to attend.
How much your investment is what I would like to say. So the annual personal planning getaway, like we've just shared, was birthed out of my own personal experience, getting overwhelmed, getting anxiety, being anxious, getting into a depression, stress. I felt like as a mother, I was not winning either way. It didn't matter what I did, I just was not winning. And that made me feel a certain way. And so I started planning on my own 2018. And for 2 years, I planned on my own. But I had a friend who came over one of those planning sessions. And when she came, she said, no, you have to tell the world about this. You can't do this on your own. And I've had so many people that probably the #1 question I get asked in my life is, how do you do it, Manuela? How do you do it? And I always say it's because of planning. The way planning works is you start by reflection. Then you go into visioning. When you look at reflection and visioning, you ask, what's the gap in between? And how can I get from where I am right now to where I want to go? And then you set what happens in the middle there. So there's a whole setting of goals, there's a whole prioritization. And especially now that we know the 8 areas that I've spoken about in our lives, then it really does help you as an individual to plan your entire life. And it does, we start from planning up till your casket. Yeah. What happens?
At what cost am I going to come and plan up to my casket?
Up to your casket. I love that. So we have 3 particular getaways. One is for those who have attended before and want to come into an environment where they can plan, and we'll be doing it at the Great Outdoors for only 1.5 million shillings, but those ones are already coming, so I shouldn't say so much. But there are those of us who want to attend online. You're in the diaspora, you are unable to make it physically, for only 700,000 shillings, we are able to get you to attend a session, 3-day session on how to plan. It actually takes 3 days. Yeah. And then lastly is for those who are coming in a physical session, we will, it's only for 800,000 at 800,000 shillings, and all you have to do is to contact us, or you can go to my website www.manuelapmulondo.com. Under events you'll find all the information you need to find about planning, about this getaway. Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Manuela.
Thank you
And the good news is that she is evidence-based approach.
Yes.
You see it, you realize it. If you, I challenge you, go into her social media feed and start from the beginning. You will realize that her reflections have become a vision, and her visions have become a reality, which reality you admire and want to be yourself.
Yeah.
So the thin line is between reflection and vision is 1.5 or 800,000 shillings.
Yeah.
Then you can plan up to your casket.
Oh, wow.
Very paramount. Now, as we come to the close of Morning at NTV, we do have Stephen Bide, who is on ground. But before we get to Stephen, we want to go through some birthday babies.